Get ready with me as I tell you how I lost 110 pounds naturally. Started off at 245 pounds at my heaviest. At this point, I had already gone through infertility treatments and had 2 beautiful babies. And everything I thought was the baby weight, it was not. So my first step was actually I started intermittent fasting because my husband was doing it. I was at the forefront of how I started changing my eating habits. So I started losing some weight, but nothing consistently because in reality, I wasn't being that diligent on tracking my calories. So I started to think, what else do I need? For me specifically, I knew what I was missing was working out. Because the way that my mind works is that if I'm working out, then I shouldn't be eating unhealthy since I'm putting it in the work. So enter HOTWORX. This is a infrared sauna where they have a virtual instructor. So I started going a lot more consistently to work out. And this in turn really changed the game when it came to my eating habits. I really started to be a lot more diligent on what I was eating. And this is also when I started to weigh out my food. And I was measuring out my food anyway. So I thought maybe I should start weighing it. I don't think I'm doing the portions correctly. Boy, was I right. Just to give you an example, I was giving myself 2 servings when it came to my overnight oats, which I was literally having religiously every single night. Besides working out, this was the #1 game changer for me. Weighing out my food really let me track my calories accurately. Once I found out for my height and weight what the right calories were, I started to really start tracking those on an app. So at this point, I'm intermittent fasting, I'm weighing out all my food, and I'm tracking it along with working out. And then is when I really started to see a difference. I started to see my pounds go down pretty consistently. So you would think that's it. You work out, you weigh out your food, you're in a calorie deficit, that's the formula, and this is where the video stops. No. You know what happens after that? Plateau. You start to plateau quite a few times and you start to get discouraged. That is where it started to get challenging. I really had to educate myself on why I was plateauing and started to track my cycle and when I would go up in weight because of it. I started to see that whenever I would increase my weights in my free weights area, I would also come home and be heavier. One of the best tools that I got from doing my research, take my measurements, started to show me how many inches I was losing and that I wasn't just losing weight, losing inches. Integrated different ways to track my measurements other than the scale. Because the scale is going to fluctuate no matter what you do. If you don't change your lifestyle, it's not going to stick. You'll slowly see that you're going to fall back into your old habits. Then you're never going to be able to keep the weight off. Started to eat everything that I liked. I just made healthier versions of that. I focused on high protein meals. I started to eat more whole foods. And I just started volume eating because I was working out so much, I was hungry all the time. So my biggest suggestion to you is find a workout that works for you. Let it motivate you to stay healthy, to help you stay in a calorie deficit so that you track your calories on an app, weigh out your food. On top of that, don't just rely on the scale. Make sure that you're also taking your measurements. I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. Use me as a tool to help you through your journey too.